Shark. Hello. Sharku is first. The battle of the sharks. Welcome. I had some technical difficulties. So I started a couple minutes late, and some things are still not working quite right. Maple, hello. Soup, welcome. Hello. Hope you're all having a lovely time. I gotta post on... Oh god, let me lower my phone volume. We gotta post on Instagram. Tell everybody that it's time to come and hang out with me and you and everybody. We're gonna beat this dang game. Are you kidding? Ascends from the heavens, choir of angels. Oh, all right, it's Instagram time. Hello, Instagram. It is I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. That's right. That's what I sound like. This is what I look like. I'm a VTuber. Didn't you know? Is that a pixel? Is that a bad pixel? Or is that the art? I can't tell. Anyways, I'm live. Ah! It is I. Hello. Everyone's favorite non-binary. Hell yeah. Let me also write live now. We'll put these a little bit low. We'll put these a little lower. Okay. All right. Hell yeah. Posted it to Instagram. All right. Put that away. I have my tea. I'm the favorite. Yushi, hello. Welcome back. How are you? Yahoo! Oh, thank you all for the regulars that wait for me. Thank you for your patience. It's only a couple minutes late, but you know, I've lost all my, like, I don't know what happened. So, well, I'll explain when I got here, but I was messing with OBS and now I've switched back and a lot of things are not where they used to be. Summer school finally ended. Hell yeah. What were you taking in summer school? I took summer school my freshman year of high school because I failed algebra 1 because I had a really bad teacher. Almost 2 and 4 months, basically 2 and 4 months. Oh my goodness. Sharku. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Energies are crashing. After the workday, y'all, that's the time for them to unwind. And then when I went to summer school, I got an A+ because the teacher was good, and I was not left to my own devices to just fail. Hello and welcome everybody. I'm screaming. It's 9 in the morning. My neighbors are not happy with me. Ooh. How are you all? Hello. I'm doing pretty good. I can't interact with my... I can still do, like, these from my other thing. I was left to my own devices. No textbook. For summer school? Interesting. That's wild to me. I can still do most things, but I can't, do my own... Well, I guess I can. If I go to this other... I have another menu up. If need be, I can use... I'm logged... I logged out of the chat. But I can throw something at myself. A bow and arrow, perhaps. Perhaps. I don't want to leave that tab open. How are you all? Happy Wednesday. Are you excited to beat this dang game? I know I am. Wait, let me pull up the Ace Attorney, Great Ace Attorney, Chronicles walkthrough spoiler free. Boy, yeah, there we go. Just so this has been helpful because it lets me know sort of how much case is left. But there's no spoilers. Is this the final one? Yeah, okay. So we're in the middle of part 2. There are 4 parts to this. So across... Whoa! Never ending well with a sub. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day so far. I hope you're having an amazing day also. Oh my goodness, never ending. I'm real excited to beat this game. I don't remember specifically where we were when we left off. Played the first game of the Chronicles, but I haven't done the other one. Yeah, we're at the end of the first game. Well, not like the end. Across the day and tomorrow, that should be enough time to beat it, I think. I'm just gonna listen. It's a never-ending story. I used to love that when I was a kid. I used to love that. I used to eat that shit up with a spoon. Falcor! Yeah! 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 Hang around for this at least. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Bonk. Yeah, let's continue. So, unlike usually, we are in the middle of a case right now. So, let's see what we got. I don't remember specifically what was happening. Okay, let's pull up the history. Oh, we're about to do the summation examination because everybody was like, "Oh, yeah, nah, definitely Iris did it." Not Iris. No, Iris is my friend. Gina Lestrange. Yeah, hold on. We'll go to the court. If just as a refresher, Gina Lestrange is, where is she? There she is. Is so cute. She's alleged to have murdered this guy. But right now there's Bumbus and Dumbus over here, aka Nash and Ringo, and blame it on the child. I have the strange urge to put myself in a box and sit because if it fits, I sit. Yo. Do it. Pear and apple. And then he's still a vampire. That hasn't changed. He's only 32. What do you mean he's only 32? What do you mean? I guess people aged much more poorly back then. All right. That's just the facts. All right. You will explain on what grounds you have now determined the defendant to be guilty. All right, baby, let's go. He's got a lot of stress. I gotta remember everyone's voices. It's been a week. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us law-abiding citizens.
Father, tell me, when can I leave to be on my own?
After you finished your ice cream. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. I'm gonna have to remember everything. You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket. Why is he's gonna break his little thing? I never imagined a simple operation would cause me such grief. He also has been going on and on about that he thinks he left a scalpel in Herlock Sholmes. He hasn't said it was Herlock Sholmes, but it was Herlock Sholmes. Is the maid okay? I'm not sure. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a busy day ahead. I am ballistics expert. I have seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns. The little mouse is just free. There is a lot going on in this trial. It would seem there is a little remaining room for doubt. I have to admit I was rather bowled over by the argument put forth by the chap in black, me. But when that fell apart like a house of cards, I saw I'd jolly well been hoodwinked. Well, no more. The whole courtroom is turning against me. Scalpel Sholmes. Why is there a Russian? That's a very good question. He claims that he was pulled off the street. And then Iris has lumpy space princess voice. It's not fair. Iris, that prosecutor's bad man. Just because Jenny's done something she shouldn't have done in the past. That doesn't make her a murderer. Pour it, you vampire man. Allow me to savor this fruity vintage while I savor the spectacle of your fruitless debate on this matter. Stop, come on. Here's to the truth coming out, eventually. And Zeeks. Bonk. That's enough preamble. Counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Smack. His lips go so wiggly. Yes, my lord. My lord. He looks so cool when he's standing up for these. I gotta say. Defenses rebut. He should be a lot closer to these two criminals. I'm just saying. Once a rogue, always a rogue, I say. Different breed to us, law-abiding. So we gotta, like, just press everybody on their stances. Just because Ms. Lestrade has a history of pickpocketing, she must be guilty of murder. Is that what you're saying? Ah, well. Are all members of the British Army so quick to judge? I beg your pardon. Are you mocking Her Majesty's Armed Forces, the greatest military organization in the world? No, I'm simply illustrating my point. Making assumptions about people because they're a soldier or a pickpocket is wrong and dangerous. And stupid and you're ugly, you're a dummy. Huh, well, yes, might have a point there, I suppose. But let's not forget the girl already shown it. She had it in her from before. She's clearly a criminal sort through and through. Can't deny it. When you say that she'd shown she had it in her, are you referring to this? Exactly. Tried to swipe that one only a day earlier, Or am I mistaken? Not exactly. Excuse me, given that I was actually there at the time, it's hard to refute that. Dazzler, hello, welcome. How are you? Ugh. I'm probably going to be real burpy this morning. I apologize. I never actually signed that real thing. I can't wait to have a closer look at it. Oh, that's right, because before we left, we checked the blood on it. So, we know that this blood, whoever this is, also belongs to this. But I think that means, because this guy, I'm pretty sure, this guy whose name is definitely for real Egbert Benedict, I think that he was the one that cut his finger on it. I'm good, how are you? I'm pretty good. I woke up way too early this morning. Trek blood. Get out of my courtroom! I woke up way too early, and I played some Tears of the Kingdom. And I've been playing that game not very regularly. If you follow Cozy Cat Girl, she's like almost done with it, maybe. But I'm like just getting to my very first temple. It's been out like over a month, you know what I mean? Never actually sang the real thing. Can't wait to get a closer look at it. Oh yes, of course. Mr. Sholmes did use his caramel bars to make a copy of the disc, didn't he? Then ordered every type of music box he could find from across Europe. Lila, hello! Hey, that's okay. How are you? We still don't know what tune it plays out, do I? But I'd love to say how the original compares to Hurley's copy. Gilded's disc. Could it be a clue somehow? Perhaps we should examine it. Yeah, I already did that. I've done it. As only 2 bullets were found at the scene, I would say the whole case is done and dusted. Hold it! Hold it! It's the number of bullets that has you convinced. Only 2 bullets were fired, and the 2 guns that fired them have been examined by the police. When the parlor maid asks me how many are invited for dinner, I always tell her to count the table settings. Well, that's logical, I suppose. Although, yes? Ah! Sometimes after dinner, crockery does go missing. 1 or 2 guests rather like the fine china. Does your employer dine with thieves? So I suppose. If there was another bullet somewhere, of which we are unaware, it was in Sholmes, I'd have to reconsider my position. A 3rd bullet somewhere on the scene, could that be possible? It's... well, okay. I don't know if I have evidence of that. Like, I don't think I have any clues that tell me that, what's-his-chuck had a bullet in him. I don't think so. I don't know. Where's the story at? Yeah, so we're in court for the final case. The final court case. Okay, we'll just say it's impossible for now. Unfortunately, only 2 bullets were discovered by the police during their investigation. Yes, I know. You don't have to tell me. Do you think I'm stupid? I don't imagine the good men of Scotland Yard would have overlooked it. Well, if I missed a bullet while I was cleaning his lordship's office, well. I should receive a sound scolding, I don't doubt. He should receive a visit from the police, perhaps. It sounds like a crime scene to me. My 3rd bullet. Would completely turn things around if there was one, wouldn't it? Do you think we might find one lying around somewhere?
You don't need a stereoscope to see the truth here. Every which way you look at it, it was that pickpocket.
Hold it!
Ah! So if I understood correctly, you need 2 pictures. A left eye one and a slightly different right eye one.
Exactly! Then you can see the scene in 3 dimensions like this!
So if we have 2 bullets, I don't suppose you can see anything useful with them?
I think you'll find. No matter how much you squint, the truth of the situation always looks the same here.
Bonk.
The only person who could have shot the victim is that girl and the dog!
How can you be so sure of that?
Think about it. The Skulkin brothers shot the great detective, didn't they?
Yes, that's been mentioned once or twice.
Well then, surely it's coming into focus now, isn't it?
This is a waste of time. I'm not going to change this man's mind anytime soon. Never imagined that simple operate. What do you have to say, bud?
Hold it!
Tell me about it. Would you please stop muttering about things that have nothing to do with this trial, sir? The defendant's life is on the line here.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't really say that it has nothing to do with this trial, to be honest.
Huh?
I mean, there's no question that the man was shot, but the bullet has simply vanished from his stomach. It's quite inexplicable, don't you think?
I almost don't want to ask, but this surgery you've been muttering about all this time, you were operating on...
What was the fellow's name now? Hairlick? No, Hairlock? Hairlock?
Herlock Sholmes, by any chance?
Yes, good lord. It was that Hairlock fella.
What? You're the surgeon that operated on Mr. Sholmes?
That's right. Using every latest anesthesia techniques, I might add. It was a fairly major op, I can tell you.
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. The Ace Attorney motto.
Let me see. The fella was brought in not long after midnight, if I remember correctly. They said he'd been shot by some criminal or other, so I opened him up like a shot. But the funny thing is, I went over his insides with a fine-tooth comb and couldn't find the bullet anywhere. So I'm afraid I had to throw up my hands and just stitch the fella back up.
Where did the patient info protection stuff go? Hate to state the obvious, but...
Yes.
Surely that's because the bullet is still at the scene of the shooting.
Counsel for the defense is correct, as is clearly shown in this photographic print.
The bullet that the Skulkin brothers fired at Mr. Sholmes hit him in the stomach region, then exited his body and lodged into the shop wall where the calendar was hanging by the door. I think you'll find it's really quite simple. Ah! Joe Crit, hello, welcome, how are you? Just announce everything to the whole court. I think you'll find it's really quite simple if you consider the problem 3-dimensionally.
Ah! Who do you think I am, son?
Well, juror number 4 is about the best I can do.
As soon as I saw the wound to the man's stomach, I flipped him over.
Like a pancake? Are you saying that you checked his back? Lurk mode, just want a quick bully while working because I have no audio. Hey, thank you. They can't hear me.
Of course I didn't. There wasn't a single trace of injury. No sign that the bullet had left the body at all.
What?
That's the point. The only logical conclusion was that the bullet was still somewhere inside the man's innards. Which is exactly why I said about slicing him up. And I'm still none the wiser even now. How many times do I have to say it? Can somebody please explain how it happened? Can somebody please solve this mystery?
It's almost as much of a mystery as how this jury was put together.
The mystery where that bullet ended up is infuriating. Where's an expert when you need one? So what, can I just pit? You have to go now. Thank you so much for stopping by, Lila. Okay. So I don't know. The accused attempted a theft on the previous day. I can see I'm in for a very busy day ahead.
Hold it!
What do you mean you're in for a busy day?
Forgot to say, stop. Do excuse me, stop. I am a communications officer, stop.
Communications officer? Does that have something to do with sending telegrams?
Everything from personal messages written by members of the public to the latest news in the capital. I convert all these messages into Morse code and tap it. Ow! Tap it out to the entire world electronically.
Shark, how dare you? To the entire world?
Thousands of miles of cable on the sea, stop! Worldwide communication network, stop! Information transmitted to and from all corners of the globe, stop!
Ah, yes. She was getting equally worked up about radio waves or the like before, wasn't she?
I specialize in communicating information from government departments with newspaper offices.
I see.
I'm sure I shall have to wire the newspaper reports of today's guilty verdict later. So no sleep for me tonight, I imagine.
Let's just finish the trial first, shall we? Gulp, gulp.
I am ballistics expert. I've seen many shootings. There is nothing I do not know about guns.
Hold it!
I thought you were just a tourist.
Excuse me.
So this guy's definitely the Russian bad guy, but we're all still pretending like we don't know that.
Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take a bus to Crystal Tower, please.
There's no way he's just a visiting tourist. So you're a ballistics expert? Who knew?
I have much experience with guns.
Ah.
I have lived through many, how do you say, extreme, violent bath of, blood,
Ah, extreme violent bloodbaths, perhaps? I like how the little mouse reads the book when he turns the pages. The mouse is so cute. I wish he wouldn't squeeze him like this.
Those extreme violent bloodbaths. English is a very difficult tongue.
Considering the sort of people you associate with, I'm surprised you still have a tongue.
Anyway, if you have questions about the bullets and guns, you ask me. There is nothing I do not know, no mystery I cannot solve.
Mystery, you say? It's very confident.
But if possible, please, only in Russian language.
He's not very confident in his knowledge of English, though, is it? No, still, we should bear that in mind. He's our man if there's a mystery about guns or bullets. Well... And Zeeks has managed to convince everyone. When you have eliminated the impossible, he said. But he hasn't. We're gonna fight back. We need more material. We have to fight back. We have to turn this trial around again. Aren't we in luck? Alright, babies. Let's, Where's a bullet expert when we need one? I guess we just have one.
Objection!
Those two statements clearly contradict the idea that all I do is pit jurors against each other. Come on.
Oh, a ballistics expert! Pitting, P-I-T-T.
On the night in question, Mr. Sholmes was shot by one of the Skulkin brothers. But since there was no sign of an exit wound on his back, we must assume the bullet didn't pass through him. However, no bullet was found lodged in Mr. Sholmes' body either. Furthermore, a bullet was found lodged in the wall of the shop where Mr. Sholmes was shot. Juror number 6.
Hello, my name is Villain.
Nice to meet you. His name is Villain. There's apparent contradiction in the facts that is so clearly troubling juror number 4. Are you able to explain the mystery?
I have seen very similar situation in Motherland. It was night, there was a blizzard. I was running away along mountain road in freezing cold. Golly!
Thank you, Judge.
The snow was piling high on both sides of the road. It was very narrow and dangerous. My pursuers had hunting rifles and they were on dog sleds.
Mental note, don't ask too many questions.
I was shot from behind and I fell down in snow. This situation was very similar to what I hear today from doctor. They could not find bullet in my body, and no sign of, how do you say, exit wound. But where did the bullet go? Bullet never hit me.
Well, if it never hit you, why did you fall down?
Bullet hit frozen wall of ice very close to my side.
What?
One small piece, very sharp, broke away from lump of ice and pierced my body. It made deep wound that looks just like bullet wound.
Good gracious!
Of course, piece of ice quickly melted inside me. And that is solution to mystery of disappearing bullet.
But that doesn't answer the question at all! The shooting happened in a pawnbroker's shop. Not some snowy mountain road in another country. Just an idea, but we might not be looking at exactly the same scenario here. Rhoda, where exactly was Harley shot again? Well, according to the report, in his stomach. Sort of around this area, I think. Well, that's precisely where he always wears a little pouch on his belt. A pouch? Actually, I might have noticed something like that. Yes, a pouch. It's where he keeps 3 glass vials of very dangerous chemicals that he uses in his investigations. What? Really? Doctor, where's the pouch Mr. Sholmes was wearing? Where? The fella had nothing like that on his person when he arrived at the hospital, as far as I remember.
If I may.
Lord Van Zeeks.
While I realize it is forbidden for the prosecution to interject during a summation examination, I should inform the defense that I have the pouch in question in the antechamber outside the courtroom.
Sorry?
As I understand it, when the police arrived on the scene and found Mr. Sholmes injured, they removed the pouch in order to assess the wound.
Oh, thank goodness! Thought I was getting forgetful for a second.
Since then, it has been in my safekeeping along with all the other evidence relating to the case. I can personally vouch for the fact that it has not been touched since the incident occurred. Very well. While extremely unconventional during a summation examination, I must demand the prosecution presents the item in question with all speed.
All the speed. Every speed. Bring forth Mr. Sherlock Sholmes' pouch.
I see. Well, this is the pouch worn by Mr. Sholmes on the night in question, is it?
Look at that. One of the vials is broken and the leather around it is scorched black. It's almost as if the vial exploded.
Exploded?
So, that night, the bullet from the Skulkin brothers' gun struck Mr. Sholmes' pouch. And it was the glass vial exploding that caused the fella's injury.
This bullet did not penetrate the victim, but was deflected into wall of shop. A delightfully complex aroma. Well, it would appear one mystery has been solved at least.
Don't throw it.
Though it has no bearing on the truth of the case.
It definitely does.
The bungling and burgling brothers shot the detective, and the accused shot the pawnbroker. The pertinent facts of the case remain unaltered.
But at least the mystery is solved. I can sleep easy tonight. Thank you, young man.
Thank you very much.
Glad I could help.
Due to its bearing on the conundrum just solved, the court will sequester this scruffy pouch as evidence.
Scruffy. All these pouches are scruffy. You're scruffy, Judge.
Let's look at it.
Let's examine the evidence.
Ooh, baby.
Excuse me. Oh, look, there's a hole here at the back. Doesn't look much like a bullet hole, but clearly something's ripped through the leather with great force. Something must have pierced it somehow to left this hole behind. Yes, it looks that way. Mr. Sholmes and his pouch both took a beating, didn't they?
The front.
So there's a hole. Whoa, there's a bullet in there. Wait a minute, there is a bullet there. It's really scorched badly just there. Oh, the strap is broken. Look. This must be where the bullet hit then. Let me see. It didn't deflect. Oh my god. Oh, What the? Iris, look! Behind where the broken file was, do you see? Ah, that's the Skalkin Brothers bullet! The stroke of luck that it has hit this pouch. This is an amazing discovery. What this means is, there were 3 bullets fired at Windibanks that night. We found exactly what the juror was talking about. The 3rd bullet. It's time to press that juror again, I think. Okay, hell yeah. Yo, baby. Are you all excited? I'm excited.
It would appear the defense is somewhat struggling to alter opinion.
Please, my lord, a little more time. After all, there's a new piece of evidence. It is if I jumped the gun. Okay, alright.
Go back, baby.
Alright, press you again. Number of bullets, Could it be possible? Alright, I already did this. I can prove it! Allow me to show you then. The 3rd bullet. Here, it's the 3rd, here it is. Oh, whoa! I'll just present it with R.
Take that!
Take that! Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Windibank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet?
It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes' pouch.
What?
The pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes' waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one.
Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night?
Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch.
But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print.
Ah! 2 guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence.
Yes, that of Mr. Windibank and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers.
And examining both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. Ah.
But that must mean...
I like him. That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene. And until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Ah! Ah! Oh, I got him. I got him good. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Order! While this summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which this case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. Jupiter!
What?
Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once.
I didn't know that could happen. They're so, like... I've never seen more guilty-looking people.
Witnesses?
Governor! I forgot the... Okay, they just sort of had the most Cockney voices ever.
Were you listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination?
We was, Governor, we was!
Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A 3rd bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that?
Make of it, Gov. I didn't make nothing of nothing if I could help it.
Is it one of yours?
Well, blimey, Gov. Well, blimey. Not a chance.
In that case, did you have an accomplice?
What? What? Never. The Sculpin brothers work alone. It's just the 2 of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky, the older brother. They keep thinking that the detective is the older brother for some reason.
Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence.
What can I imagine the judge with a stand when he goes, With a stand? When he goes, what do you mean? Oh, like a JoJo stand? Oh. Only 2 bullets from the crime scene originated with the firearms we have in evidence. The 3rd bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it? Lummy, that's a head scratcher.
Counsel for the defense.
Yes.
I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The 3rd bullet and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came.
Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened. My lord, I think it's clear what this 3rd bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. It has nothing to do with them. I think that's right. No, they had a secret accomplice. Yes. On that night at Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a 3rd man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice. But the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present, someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
Pour it. Whatever. I have a sword. You can have wine or blood or whatever.
An accomplice, you say? Pig swill.
No! Oh. Thought he was gonna throw it.
These protracted proceedings.
Hold on a sec. I'm gonna move my, There we go. Tracking. I was, like, looking all the way over.
These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time, there has been not a murmur of a 3rd man, if this apparently wraith-like being exists.
Don't throw it! Ow, he crushed it.
The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed.
Ah!
The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence, that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime.
I have that. There's blood.
And secondly, the identity of this spurious character.
I have both those things. The Skulkins are lying. I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding?
Well, counsel?
I can do it. I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, Star, 26 months! Oh my god. I am ready to present answers. How are you? Thank you for 26 months. What the hell? The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands.
So, my Nipponese friends, despite these swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say.
Kinda sleepy. Yo, I feel that. I woke up too early today.
This promises to be interesting.
Boom. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it'll make a difference.
In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, what proof do you have that there was a 3rd intruder present at the thing?
It was this. It's the blood samples.
Take that!
It's gotta be. The evidence is right here, in this portfolio.
By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of these blood samples proves the presence of a 3rd intruder. Well, which one is it?
It's this. It's this. Come on. Come on, babies.
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar.
That's a blood stain, my lord.
A blood stain? Green blood? Curious, even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature?
It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
The great detective! New invention, stop! Not yet appeared in stories, stop! It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color. Sans boy, hello. Yeah, Herlock Sholmes.
Different elements of people's blood?
Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. Earth, fire, wind, water, you know, different elements, blood. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is.
Whoa, that brings a whole extra dimension to looking at blood.
Talk of blood in courtroom, stop. Very exciting, stop. Hydrate, yeah, all right. Posture check, all right. 2 years, 2 years, Sans boy, hell yeah. You feel old, yeah, think about me. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank.
A striking blue.
Yes, so you see, the green color of this blood stain on the calendar shows that someone else was shot in the main part of the shop.
Now hold fire there, young man. Could this be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it?
No, it's not unrelated. The date shown on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. Watch time.
It's just follow age. We've been going 42 minutes.
Golly! Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day.
Then whose blood is it?
Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else, the third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity in the court? Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear? You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? It's, Egbert.
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict.
Egbert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel?
He paid a visit to Windibank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. Pepper the Protogen, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? Welcome, welcome.
When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession.
That's right. Hello, I'm good. Thank you for the bit. I appreciate that. Visitor location reference? Probably not. This man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict. Then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force.
Broker.
Yeah, I love this game a lot.
I guess,
I don't remember his voice. He's dead now, doesn't matter. I believe this filthy pickpocket thief has redeemed an article from you, no?
Why, yes,
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Now that's a lie! What are you trying to poo? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say. Oh, look at him, fancy lad. And the music box discs, too. Guess what? Guess what? Chicken butt. I'm a poopy head. Respectfully disagree. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc.
Can you corroborate this account, Inspector?
Yes, my lord. There's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Windibank for a print showing the fella. There he is! Taken from one of these red-handed recorder gubbinses. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Windibank that morning.
And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice?
Well, me and Mr. and Mr. Skulkin? Well? Never seen the geezer before in my life. Oh, my life, cover, my life, never seen him. They're liars, though.
Well, somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion. I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was
that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice.
Yeah, I can prove it. Yes, and I can.
Then show us the evidence!
I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is. Yeah, we have it. We don't need to make a big deal out of this. This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm gonna drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom. Bonk.
Are you ready to present your answer to the court then, counsel?
Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was, in fact, the person struck by the third bullet. Now, I know what the answer is, but I just don't want to get a point. Okay, yeah, the sword. No. Present, I said! Present!
Take that!
Take that! As I mentioned before, on the afternoon in the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windibanks.
Just when the aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe. The man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no?
That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. I was following this, that a minor... It was following this that a minor incident occurred.
But of course, sir, here is the disc for you.
Very well. And this guy was expecting 2 discs, he said.
And I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute! That disc is mine! And they had a kerfuffle.
What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal.
Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. What's for lunch, Sandboy? Tell me. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed. And the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a blood stain, is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom. But beef noodles, hell yeah. Using my trusty fogger gun. Yes, and we've added the results to this portfolio.
I say!
It's green.
It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. Ah! Anonymous? Who did that? Who's anonymously spooping me? The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that same night. There was someone else there. Look at those 2 brothers now. They're sweating buckets. What are we talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It certainly seems that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough. This flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Sherlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes. A god of detection of some such.
Don't throw it!
And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court of the land? Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color.
Ah, well...
Yeah! And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes' word for it.
Is he right? I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective. What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that. I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes' intention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. I love this vampire dude so much, yo, same. But what other choice did I have? I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Ah. In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief! What did you just say, young girl?
And in summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it? So the way I say it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Harley's invention. At least, not for now. Yes, she's right.
Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Rono. He's so extra in a stiff way. I love him, but I hate him, but I love him also. Is that about right, what you say, or am I misunderstanding something? Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with. Iris Wilson, sharpshooter. Not with that gun.
After that shrewd presses of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination has yet to reach its conclusion.
It's complicated. This is absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in this matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come far and you will come to fair and just conclusions.
Yeah, baby.
So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty.
Not guilty.
Hey. Bonk. Hell yeah. That's enough. That's enough, people.
2 called guilty and 4 called not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
What do you mean?
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision. On what grounds? If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender of real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt.
You're an outrage.
I'm sorry, Lord Van Zieks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue.
Ugh. Ah! You're an outrage. Everybody, yeah, you're an outrage.
Nevertheless, we found ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible.
What?
The name the gentleman gave for himself, Egbert Benedict, is quite clearly false.
I don't believe it. This one I'd managed to prove the man was there that night. Could I say something? Is this Gina?
Who was that, please? Who spoke?
It was me, my lord. Oh. Juror number 5? He's such a drama queen, yeah.
What do you have to say, madam?
If possible, Inspector.
Me, ma'am?
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again, the one in which the gentleman is shown.
Right, yes. This one, you mean? Of Mr. Benedict?
Yes. There's no doubt in my mind. Marion, hello, hello. No, Marvian, excuse me. How are you? Juror number 5, you don't mean to say you know this man? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Bonk the vampire man. Bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Yes, I know him. What?
No. Good gracious!
I love it when the judge says good gracious.
Order, order, order! Juror number 5, how on earth?
I'm a communications officer. Stop. So we can clearly see. The gentleman in the photograph is... Stop. Also, a communications officer. Stop. He works in my office. Stop. What? That's crazy.
Very talented operator, in fact. Stop.
Shiny Cake, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? She's so excited. I want your attention. You deserve all the love. You're amazing. Keep smiling because that smile is unique to you. I love you all. Hey, how sweet. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. She's so excited. She's got a twinkle in her eyes that she hasn't had before.
You should be in the communication station now. Stop tapping away on a telegraph. Stop.
You love my design. Thank you so much. My eyes go, whoa, 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 whoa. And sometimes they go, wow. Doesn't seem right somehow, but I can't put my finger on why. It doesn't feel right.
RGB, RGB. Boop, 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 boop.
I love it. Hell yeah. Also, guys, if you're having a good time, just as a reminder, ow! How dare. How dare. We got a Discord. It's a beautiful place full of lovely people. I'd love to see you there. I suppose we all imagine the accomplice will be some sort of hardened criminal.
That wasn't me.
But it's unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night. Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong.
The gentleman is at London's communication station. We should be able to subpoena him within the hour.
Hydrate, I will, thank you.
Lord Van Zeeks, if you please. Yes, my lord. Make the necessary arrangements with all haste. As your lordship bids. It wasn't me. The court will recess for 1 hour. And when the new witnesses arrive...
When the new witnesses arrive. When the new... Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. When the new witness arrives...
we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson.
Yes, my lord.
I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess.
Yes, sir, my lord.
Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m.
Oh, excuse me. And this is the break in the case? The break in the case. It is. Oh, yeah. Boom, boom. Ba, 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 ba. Clara with the lurk. Thank you. I will save. You must feel some kind of way to be made to get the egg guy with evidence. He doesn't like it at all. All right, we're gonna take a tiny break here. I'm gonna run to the restroom. And then we will continue with part 3 of this trial. Once the music starts. Okay, there's Gina. All right, I'll be right back. I love you all. Nala1115, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. I was away, but now I am back. I got new tea. How about that? Did that rhyme? Maybe. Alright, part 3 of this trial, baby. We're gonna get that Eggman here, find out his real name. It's not even gonna have an egg in it. Welcome back, thank you. Ah, Gina, how are you holding up? Starting to feel quite warmly towards her frequent cold shoulders now. What kind of tea? I have green tea. I have been drinking jasmine green tea that I make in my cold brew thing every night. But since I woke up so early by accident today, I woke up like several hours before my alarm's supposed to go off. So I have also in the fridge, I have those Ito ends, those tall boys. Hold on, I can actually... Excuse me. So burpy. I'm having like kind of some stomach issues today, so that's why I woke up early. Ito and jasmine green tea. But now I went and I grabbed one of these guys. Does that show up? Yeah. What are these big old boys? They're bussin', they're tall, and I like them. So today is gonna be an extra caffeine day. You know what I mean? Alright, here we go. Jedi! Are you alright? Why aren't you saying anything? What's the point, eh? Why go to all this trouble and fight so hard for the likes of me? Alright, his low confidence. Low self-esteem. What? Well, you saw it, the picture. Picture. My own extracts? Whoa! Like what? What are you extracting? Clues. Ah, you mean this? The photograph taken by Harley's red-handed recorder. Well, I didn't think I would have captured a scene like this, that's for sure. It's hopeless. Anyone who sees that's gonna think I did it, aren't they? Well, I won't pretend it wasn't a bit of a shock when the prosecution first presented it to the court. Vanilla and cinnamon extract. Yo, hell yeah, that's fun. Surely you gotta have your doubts about me now. You can't still think I'm innocent. Of course I can. She's so, look at how angry she is! Look at that angry face! Are you kidding? I love it. She's never been this angry before. I gotta screenshot this. This is important. This is an important angry face. I'm doing it. This is just for me. Save it. Ooh. Alright, hell yeah. She's so angry. She say, Wait, she goes, she say, She's like, Huh. Jedi, why won't you talk to us? Tell us what really happened that night. Well, has cleverly managed to piece together a lot of new information, but still, we'd really like to hear it from ya. Alright then. Yeah, I forgot, this would have been so much more helpful. It was right after we had dinner together at your place, right, Iris? Then we had a chat up in your office, didn't we? Yes, I remember. It was like yesterday. After that, I just couldn't get to sleep. So I slipped down and went down the street to the 2-to-1. The 2-to-1? To Winterbank's place. I don't know. If Iris' story was there or... If Iris' story was there or not, it's me, Ryunosuke, the Hound of the Baskervilles. I don't know what it's about or nothing. But if you ask me, there's something in that Shom story. But if you ask me, there's something in it that Shams didn't like. Something what he didn't want people reading. So that's why I lied to Iris about sticking it in lug with Winterbank for safekeeping. At least that's what I thought at the time. So you broke into Winterbank's? I just had to know if it was there or not. I mean, I had no idea all that was going to kick off, did I? I struck the lock and snuck inside. It was dark as you like in there.
So I gave the oil lamp on the counter a bit of wick, and that's when...
What do you think you're doing?
Ah! I nearly died, I did. Next thing I knew... I grabbed the gun off the counter and was waving it in the air like, I don't know what.
Oh, you're the girl who was in here this afternoon. I didn't think pickpockets went in for armed robbery.
The mantle script, have you got it here?
Sholmes
Did Sholmes leave a load of papers with you? A story?
I beg your pardon?
The hound of the something or other. If it's here, I want to see it.
I'm sorry, young lady. I'd sooner die than relinquish an article belonging to one of my customers. When you haven't missed the end of the case. We're still working on it. I don't want it. What would I do with it anyway? I just want to see if it's here, that's all. Oh, you want to see it, do you?
I want to know if Sholmes really pawned it here or not. Please, just let me see it and I'll go.
Well, very well, then. But for pity's sake, I'm waving my gun around, would you? So invested, hell yeah. So we determined that Egbert man was there at the scene of the crime. That's all you've missed, really.
But then the old cove unlocked the storeroom door and we both went inside. And it was there, all right. The mantle script. Sholmes weren't lying after all.
You did all that just to check for me, Jenny?
Anyway, then there was a bit of kick-up out in the main bit of the shop. The Skulking Brothers arriving on the scene, yes. You gotta be careful who's speaking. What was that noise? Someone's breaking in.
Dear me, is there some burglars convention here tonight or something I don't know about?
I think I forgot to shut the door behind me, sorry.
Better go take care of it. I possibly have my gun back.
Oh, well, I'd love to. I'll come with you.
Don't be foolish, young girl. You must stay right here. Don't leave this room under any circumstances.
And with that, he took the gun out of my hands and walked back into the shop. I am back in the storeroom, like he said, straining my ears in the dark to hear what was going on. It sounded like they got into a bit of a scrap. I started to think I should help, say. So I was just about to go out to the storeroom myself when...
Bang, bang. 2 bangs.
I heard a couple of shots go off. 2, I think. Almost at the same time. And then there he was, right at my feet. Lying face down on the floor. It was right next to the storeroom door, so I slammed it shut and locked it quick as it like.
Because you thought whoever had shot Mr. Windibank might come for you.
Yeah, so I went to grab the old cove's gun. I figured I'd put up a fight at least. But when I got a better look at him, I knew. Windibank was a goner. Shot through the heart.
And who's to blame?
I felt kind of funny in my head all of a sudden, kind of dizzy. And after that, I don't remember nothing.
That must be when you passed out, Gina. Here's in a poof of smoke.
If I hadn't done what I'd done, the old cove must still be alive.
Did you tell the police everything you just told us?
Of course I did, but they didn't believe a word of it, did they? All they said was if I kept telling lies, I'd make things even worse for me.
It'll be alright, Jenny. Don't worry. Just stay strong a little longer. Bruno's about to put the real culprit through the mill. Grind him up like so much wheat, like so many wheat.
That cove was there in the afternoon?
That Egbert Benedict. She's so angry again. Boo, boo, boo. She's so angry.
I still remember how he looked at me, like I was nothing. He was there that night.
Ow. We don't know his real name yet. I'm convinced that he's involved somehow. Anyway, thank you for telling us what happened, Gina. I appreciate your honesty. Sorry. Thank you. Apology accepted because of lettuce. You what? You can leave it on Riddle's capable hands now, Jenny. Mr. Nara, oh no. Yes. How come you trust me? I don't get it. I mean, have you forgotten what happened here before? Come on, it was only 2 months ago. Me and McGilded, we told you a whole pack of lies. And you got the bog trotter off with him, even though he was a killer. No, I could never forget that. SciTech Games, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? Hello. Returned for a short time. How did the case go? It's going, baby. Welcome back. I did what I thought was best at the time. But the pain of that error of judgment doesn't get any easier to bear. Still, don't forget that I also made you a promise. I told you that I'd be on your side till the bitter end, no matter what. But what if I'm lying? You could be working to get another killer off the hook for all you know. I was once in your position, Gina. I was the accused in a trial. Hydrate, thank you. And hello, SciTech. I hope you're doing well. You were! Before I left Japan, I was accused of murder. And strange as it might sound, the circumstances of the crime were pretty damning. I was sure that no one would believe it wasn't me who'd done it. Oh, right out. But there was one person who stood up for me, who believed in me, and was prepared to defend me. My best friend. We were just friends. It was nothing more than just friends. He was so handsome and charming, and he was good at kissing, and we were just friends. Ryunosuke, no one believes in you more than I do. Leave this to me. All you need to do is put your faith in me, and I'll do the rest. I was so happy I cried. But even then, somewhere inside me, I couldn't help thinking, surely he doesn't really believe in me. Not completely. But I was wrong. As soon as my trial began, it was obvious that he'd had absolute unwavering belief in me. And in turn, I developed an absolute unwavering belief in him. Can I judge you? In what way? Since then, I came to realize, if you want someone to believe in you, you have to believe in the other person first. What are you saying? I promise you, Gina, that no matter what happens, I'll keep believing in you. So you don't need to worry. I won't let you down. Anyway, I need to feel judged. Hey, you're doing great, Icy Soul. Take that. Take that! Objection! Even though I'm a diver and a no-good liar? You're not like McGilded. I know that. Eh? That's right, you're a friend, Jedi! Oris! We know you better than you think. And we've come to the conclusion that you're someone we can trust. Yes! That's really all we need to know. Exactly! Mr. Naruto, I'm crying. I'm crying, Naruto, I'm crying.
Better to do this out of the
Yes, of course, thank you. You are guilty of being awesome. I've been both a defendant and a defending lawyer in my time, so I knew only too well just how hard it was to put all your faith in another, but I also knew just how hard it was to bear the burden of another putting all their faith in you. This is it at least. Nope. Yawning. This is it at last. The final chapter, the final battle. Wish me luck, Susato-san, and I hope you're watching over me too. Partner. We're just friends. Agent RN Jr. Maybe. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? Hello. Gracious. Good gracias.
I hereby call this court to order as we resume the trial of Miss Gina Lestrade. Lord Van Zeeks, have you successfully subpoenaed the witness? The subpoena was delivered to the communication station where the man works immediately, my lord. However, the heavy rain has delayed the arrival of his carriage, it would seem. I see. Let us turn our attention to Inspector Gregson's presses of the case by the court this morning.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce that word. I'm well, how are you? I'm doing great. We're on the tail end of this case, and I'm so excited. I've been playing this game. I started this game 2 years ago and only restarted it recently.
The glaring omission of the third bullet in your report is a serious blunder, Inspector.
Yes, I can only apologize, my lord.
Although the defense's chemical analysis of the blood at the scene makes for a compelling argument, I cannot permit such untried methods to be used as evidence in my courtroom.
It's a big mistake to cross Harley and me, a very big mistake. The bailiff says,
My lord, the subpoenaed witness has just arrived in this building. Thank you, officer. Show him to the stand without delay.
Mr. Egbert Benedict. I didn't expect to be crossing paths with him again so soon, and certainly not like this. It's me, I'm always thinking stuff. Big thinky boy. Oh, he's a Dapper Dan, man.
Thank you for complying with the court subpoena at such short notice, sir.
But of course, my lord. As an upstanding member of London society, it's my pleasure to oblige.
Now, kindly state your name and occupation for the record.
Ashley Graydon, Communications Officer.
Mr. Graydon and I both work at London's Central Communications Station. Evidence.
Now, perhaps somebody would kindly explain what all this is about? You were apprised of his situation by the court officer on your way here, I presume. Yes, I was. Something to do with a murder that took place at a pawnbroker's on Baker Street. Some nonsense about me having been there on the night in question. That is the accusation, indeed. This really is beyond a joke, you know.
Very well. Without further delay, the court will hear your testimony now, Mr. Graydon. You will respond to the accusation made against you under oath.
Wow! Gladly, my lord, gladly. All right. This man is no middle sliders. He's either all on or all off. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of pawnbroking services from time to time. But are you seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? What are those moves? I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation. Excuse me. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene, some Scaramouche detective's homebrewed tincture can hardly be taken as serious evidence. Are you very sure? Are you like crazy sure?
So you deny the accusation completely, do you?
I must say I am dismayed. For the highest court in the land to be swayed by this self-professed detective's toy. It was the will of the jury, and our great British justice system demands that the jury's will is upheld. Whew. Then it would seem we have the misfortune of a most inept assembly of jurors today. By golly! How long am I expected to be detained here?
If following the defense's cross-examination your involvement in this matter has not been established, you will be free to leave immediately.
Good, then I shall be away in time for afternoon tea. Some small consolation, at least. Top Hat is the perfect target for Min Mallet. Bonk.
Let us not hold up Mr. Graydon any longer than necessary, counsel. Proceed with the cross-examination.
So we meet again, Mr. Egbert Benedict. Or is it Mr. Graydon? My apologies, you are? Love the guy's color palette. Yeah, he's real. He's one note, two note. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. We have met. If you say so, Ashley Graydon. Enchant. So, Ah! I trust we can conclude this quickly. Ah, but I'm not holding your flashy hat while we do. Toss it. Oh, they couldn't animate that. Except he has his hat off now. Wait a minute. Hats off to you. Naturally, I have occasion to make use of a pawnbroking services from time to time. Hold it! Hold it! Yes, we even met in the very pawnbrokery where the crime took place on the afternoon of the day in question. Though, of course, you introduced yourself by a different name at the time. It was Mr. Eggard Benedict, I believe. Yeah, these character designs are second to none. The witness is here to testify about the... Oh my god, I'm so tongue-tied. Here to testify about events that took place that night. He is under no obligation to answer such unrelated questions. You can't be serious. Thank you, because I certainly do not feel inclined to answer such an inappropriate question. He's going to be evasive, is he? In an effort to not give anything away? Looking at each character tells you so much about them. It's great. This could be tricky. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we got all our hearts back at the top. Hell yeah. So you're seriously suggesting I colluded with these thugs to break into the place on the night of the murder? You seen these two men before? This pair? No, I don't associate with criminals. I'm kind of dipping into Van Zeeks with him. Said by a man who introduced himself as Eggard Benedict. I'd like to know who I have to thank for that. Who made this outlandish accusation against me? The young lawyer there in the black. This is a farce. Whose idea was it to permit an outsider to work in a British court anyway? Everybody's so racist. Well, needless to say, I have no intention of admitting to such an outrageous accusation. Where were you at around 1 in the morning on the night in question, sir? That is past the hour at which I would normally retire. Certainly. I was not in the company of these rapscallions. You're able to prove that?
Objection!
Listen carefully, my learned Nipponese friend, for you appear to be under a gross misapprehension on this point. What do you mean? The witness maintains that he was not at the scene of the crime. He has no obligation to prove his absence. Your accusation is that the witness was present at the scene. The obligation lies with you to prove your assertion. They just keep looking away. Yeah, it's so great. You will fulfill that obligation before putting any more unreasonable questions to the witness. Dance about it. Ah. Silent victory wiggle. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. That was a little more than a wiggle, but alright. Whatever. Even if certain parties here present claim that my blood was found at the scene. Hold it! Blood was found at the scene of the crime. There's no question of that. Ah! Mr. Stolm's chemical analysis has positively identified the substance as such. But I am not the only human to have blood running through my veins, am I? You saying he wasn't there and needs to prove an alibi? How can you be so sure that the blood is mine? It could equally be the blood of one of these two miscreants. We're going to see green blood, let's go! Every individual's blood has a slightly different composition, it seems. Mr. Sholmes' chemical is able to differentiate... Spare me the science lesson. Who is this Sholmes character, anyway? Oh, I assumed all Londoners would know the name. He's a renowned detective. So even you are unable to bring yourself to say great detective. A great detective, you say? Now we're in the realm of fairy tales, are we? What do you got for me? Pursue it. Excuse me. You have something to say about that, Mr. Skulkin? What, me? No, the Mr. Skulkin next to you. Rod, I've had it up to here with this. How many times I gotta tell you? Yes, I know. You're not Big Bruv Sulky. Mr. Nash Skulkin. Go blimey, Governor. You what? Is it not the case that when Mr. Graydon just spoke, a thought went through your mind? I love the Skulkins. Would you care to share that thought with the court? Me thoughts? I don't have none of them. It must have been him. You what? Mr. Nash Skulkin, answer the question, please. What went through your mind when Mr. Graydon just spoke? Nothing, honest Gov, nothing. I was just thinking, if he waves his arm around like that much more, it'll open up the wound again, that's all. They're so bad! They're such bad criminals! What wound? Where we took the bullet, of course. It was only 2 days ago. It ain't gonna be healed up yet. So I was, well, you know, I was worried for him and oh, hell's bells! Mr. Graydon, did you hear that? Oh my god. What? Your comrade is worried about you, it seems. On account of your injured arm. My lord. Yes, Mr. Graydon. I have no idea what these 2 wretches are talking about. Certainly, I shouldn't be expected to answer anything in relation to their mindless insinuations. We know that someone other than the victim was hit by a bullet at the scene of the crime 2 nights ago. And from the height of the bullet hole in the wall, that person was likely hit in the upper arm or thereabouts. Perhaps you'd allow the court perhaps you'd allow a court official to examine your arm, sir. The left arm that you're currently clasping with your right hand, as if in pain. No, I refuse. You have shown no evidence whatsoever that links me to these common thieves. Whoa. Accordingly, I am not obliged to permit any such invasion of my privacy. As I've already said, I'm completely uninvolved in all this. I've never had anything to do with the pawnbrokery where this fellow was killed or whatsoever. I take offense at the insinuation that I was in any way involved. You claim to have nothing whatsoever to do with Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. My lord, the defense would like that last statement to be added to Mr. Graydon's formal testimony. Very well, counsel. Bonk. How foolish showing your arm would just clear all charges if you're innocent. Yeah, for sure. Why is it a buck? Because he's small. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Graydon. The bottom line is, I've never had anything to do... I mean, anything? Like, anything? 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 Let's save. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. Ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-ba-ba-ba. We're gonna start presenting evidence. Okay, so... I think, well, okay. I'm not sure. Let me press it. Oh, God, no! Shoot. He just the way one he is. I don't care about all this. We're skipping through. Gotta go through the court record. Alright, hold on. Let's press it. Hold it! Never had anything to do with it. You forget that I was there, Mr. Graydon, on the very afternoon of the incident. Obviously, I'm not a complete stranger to the pawnbrokers. I'm currently on the lookout for an armchair to furnish my study.
Objection!
No, you were there to redeem an article. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, alright.
Excuse me!
Do you have something to add, Inspector? Ouch. I want some fries. Hey, come again, sunshine. You were there too, in fact, weren't you, Inspector, that afternoon? Well, yes, I do remember meeting yourself in the pawnbrokers that afternoon. You, your young Japanese assistant, and the accused were all present, as I recall. And at that time, this witness, Mr. Graydon, was trying to acquire a particular article. Well now. I'm afraid I don't remember too clearly. What? But you must! I'm not gonna lie and pretend I remember something that I don't. What's going on here? Gregsy showed us a picture before, didn't he? You know, from the cameras that Harley installed at Window Banks. Yes, of course.
Indeed, and the gentleman pictured bears a striking resemblance to the witness, I must say.
I mean, it's him. Exactly, which proves that Mr. Graydon was in the shop on the afternoon in question. Loaded fries sound... Oh, that sounds too good. You can't be doing this to me. At no point have I denied that fact. I merely entered the shop to pursue the articles on sale and have a word with the broker. Nothing more. This makes no sense. I understand why Mr. Graydon might be trying to cover his tracks. But why would Gregson also be trying to avoid giving testimony about what happened? That's all he's going to say on the matter, is it? What do you think, Runo? What do you think, Runo? Okay. Alright, so we have this fifth statement. Let's, what do we got here? I mean, like... Never had anything to do. I guess we just present this, because he, like, took it, or he tried to.
Objection.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen this disc before, Mr. Graydon? Why, is it supposed to mean something? This disc was, until the day of his murder, in pawn at Mr. Windibank's shop. It was redeemed by the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, that afternoon. However, somebody mysteriously appeared to try and take it from her. And that somebody was you, of course. Wasn't it, Mr. Graydon? As I have reiterated numerous times now, you are mistaken. That was not me. I've never seen that disc before in my life. It may have escaped your notice, but there is a small smear of blood on the disc.
Ah, yes, resulting from an abrasion of the thumb, perhaps.
That's right. The surface of the disc is covered in hundreds of tiny metal bumps. In the skirmish to acquire the disc, the thumb of the person who tried to take it suffered minor lacerations. So, while the disc bears the remnants of that skirmish in form of this smear of blood, the thumb of the person in question must bear the remnants also in the form of a scratch.
Gracious, indeed it must.
Mr. Graydon, you refused to allow a court officer to examine your arm before. Are you now going to refuse to allow us to examine your thumb? Because I have no doubt that it bears a small scratch consistent with the smear of blood on this desk. Well, well. It would seem I underestimated you.
What is the meaning of this?
So you admit it now? You admit you have a scratch on your thumb from when you attempted to take the disc from the defendant?
Order, order. Well, Mr. Graydon.
It appears that there have been something of a misunderstanding here. I did not attempt to take the disc, as you put it. No, quite the reverse. What are you trying to say? Excuse me. It's really quite simple, you see. The disc was mine from the outset. Is there some crime in taking an item that you own out of pawn? What? It would seem, Mr. Graydon, that in this piece of evidence my learned friend has established a link between yourself and the incident.
Yeah, but he's never seen it. He's a liar.
Accordingly, you will tell the court everything you know about this disc now. As you wish. Though I'm quite sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with the pawnbroker's murder. Witness testimony.
What's going on? This guy's a liar.
There's a note on the disc saying, for There's a note on the disc saying, for McGilded, but the item belongs to me. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling, on the day in question. I proceeded at once to the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem my article. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. In other words, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
That's not true.
I hear you correctly, sir. McGilded, you say, the famous London philanthropist, who perished in this very courtroom 2 months ago after being acquitted of a distinctly messy murder. Yes, my lord, the one and the same.
Zeke's better throw this wine at him.
Good lord, Mr. Graydon! Are you saying that McGilded and yourself were acquainted? Yes, that's correct.
You had to think about it.
Bum 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 bum. Order! Well, I certainly didn't expect to hear that name uttered in my courtroom again. Hold on.
According to what Gina told us, this disc was placed in pawn on that fateful night 2 months ago. Gilden himself gave instructions to deposit it at Windibanks. It's funny that Mr. Graydon here is claiming the disc belongs to him then, isn't it? In all likelihood, he's lying. So he appeared that afternoon at Windibanks in order to get his hand on McGilded's disc for some reason. It's a mystery disc.
Counsel, you will commence your cross-examination, please.
Okay. Cheers to that. All right, I'm going to pour my new tea into my old teacup. Here we go. Can you hear it? No. Oh, maybe. Glug, glug, glug. The tea from the bottle is much stronger. There's a note on the desk saying for McGilded, but the item belongs to me.
Hold it!
Would you care to explain how this belongs to you? Yeah, that's a good question. Ow.
As you will observe, a communications officer such as myself commands a fine salary.
How fine?
Well, certainly exquisitely dressed, sir.
So you see. I have little need to make use of the services provided by the pawnbrokery trade.
However, I did once find myself in difficulties, having misplaced my purse whilst on an errand, which is why I pawned my fine black overcoat to the broker in question.
You claim that was your overcoat?
Obviously, and in my haste I clean forgot that the music box disc was in its pocket. And yet there is a note on it that reads, for McGilded. I am a collector of rare and unusual music box discs. When I first met McGilded at a gentleman's club in the city, I did that and was interested to discover that he shared my penchant for in that area. So, the disc in question? It's a pre-production sample. I promised to let McGilded hear it. But then you forgot that it was in the pocket of the overcoat you were forced to pawn. Yes, exactly.
Jenna didn't mention any of that in her testimony 2 months ago, did she?
No, because McGilded had threatened her to keep her mouth shut. Which means that if we dig too deeply here, it's going to expose Gina's perjury.
Oh, dear. This is complicated, isn't it?
Let's leave it alone for the time being. The redemption ticket was stolen from me by the accused, that filthy gutterling.
Hold it!
So you're saying that Ms. Lestrade lifted the ticket from your pocket or bag? That's right, despite being mindful of danger when walking into the insalubrious areas are kind of frequent.
Objection!
Ms. Lestrade did no such thing. Well, of course you would take that stance, but the girl is a regular offender. Came to the pawnbrokery that day prepared with all the information you needed to identify the defendant. You were looking for her. That's what brought you to Windibanks. To get your hand on Mr. McGilded's disc.
Objection!
My learned friend is a veritable font of nonsense. Nonsense?
I concur with the prosecution. Counsel, you will refrain from conjecturing in this way. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord.
Oh. Oh.
Then I will continue my testimony for what possible use it can be. Proceeded at once into the shop in order to explain my situation and redeem the article. Had you ever been to Windibanks before? Only once, for the purposes of pawning something. But like many, I enjoy browsing in such establishments. So when you noticed that the pickpocket had taken your ticket, you chased after her, is that correct? Yes, that's right. I didn't notice at first, of course, such is the art of the pick purse. But when I did, I headed to the pawnbrokery at once, in order to reclaim my coat before the thief could. I was merely trying to recover what was rightfully mine in the first place. He can say what he likes because he knows we have no evidence to contradict him on this. In the end, of course, the disc was taken by the police. Yes, it was taken by Inspector Gregson here, wasn't it? That's right. This was the very man. Apparently, the police are collecting anything that has a connection to Mr. McGilded as evidence. What do you mean?
Excuse me!
Excuse me. Hello. Hi. Hello. Excuse me.
Something wrong, Inspector? Where'd your fries go?
What do you mean?
That last remark Mr. Graydon made in his testimony seemed to trouble you in some way.
No, it didn't. It's nothing. Leave it alone.
Let me ask you this, Inspector. Why is Scotland Yard gathering Mr. McGilded's possessions?
I can't tell you something like that, Sunshine.
What is it, Inspector? Investigative secrets?
Yes, exactly. You should all know about that.
Magnus McGilded, who died so unexpectedly after his trial 2 months ago. A man renowned throughout the capital for his great contributions to public life, yet he had a dark side too.
What are you going on with this, Van Zakes?
I suppose the police are dealing with the aftermath of his nefarious activities, are they?
That's enough. Papas like me have duties to carry out that we're not at liberty to talk about. That's all you need to know.
Duties conferred by Lord Strongheart, I presume. The Lord Chief Justice appears to have great faith in you, Inspector. Ryken, I've come to steal the Catboy's ears. No! I need them for hearing.
The bottom line is, if you want to get more out of me, you're going to need Lord Strongheart's paw print first.
What's all this about? There's something going on between Gregson and Lord Van Zeeks here.
Well, it would appear that the inspector has revealed all he is at liberty to reveal. Mr. Graydon, let us return to your testimony.
Leave a little bit of them, but I'm taking most. No! Gladly, my lord.
I just changed his voice.
In other words, I had absolutely no idea. No, I had absolutely no reason to break into the shop later that same night.
Hold it!
Hold it! But perhaps you'd seen something of value among the forfeited items. No, not at all. Oh. Excuse me. A valuer was brought in by the police to assess everything in the shop. Without exception, every article on the shelves was common or garden bric-a-brac. In that case, it's clear that you broke into the shop later that day in order to recover Mr. McGilded's disc. That doesn't really make sense. Have you not been listening, ma'am? Even if I had wanted to recover the disc, you may recall that it had been seized by the police that afternoon. There's no more in the shop that night than I. As I keep saying, I simply had no reason to break in. There was nothing of McGilded's left in the shop that night? Nothing this man might have been after? I wonder if that's really true.
Well, now, if you have some evidence, then let him have it. I'm dying to see that irritatingly assured expression of his crumble.
Do I? McGilded slipped the disc into his coat pocket and had deposited it at Windibanks. Ooh, that looks good, thank you. Then, when he realized he was going to be arrested on suspicion of the omnibus murder, he threatened Gina and forced her to take the redemption ticket.
There's no doubt about it. That witness is lying through his pearly white teeth.
The police were obviously after anything left behind McGilded as well. That's why Inspector Gregson ended up taking the disc into custody that day.
But Gregson's being very strange about all this.
There must be a reason for that, I'm sure. I just don't know what it is. For now, I need to focus on exposing the fact that Mr. Graydon is lying in his testimony. Alright, so what do we got? What do we have of Mr. McGilded's? Okay, this. That's nothing, I think. Excuse me. One gentleman's overcoat. That's not it. Oh, yeah, hold on. Victim found deceased in the last scheduled omnibus. Okay, this isn't really... Crime scene. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Okay. I guess it was this. Oh. Is there different things? Different things? Alright. So let's press, because he got the coat, but he needs his box.
Objection!
Ah! The disc was deposited in Windibanks on Magnus McGilded instructions. You knew that, and you went there with the intention of obtaining it for yourself.
Objection!
Conjecture again, and in any case, the disc was taken into custody by the police that afternoon. The witness had no reason to visit the pawnbrokery again that day.
Objection!
Sorry, my learned friend, but that's not true. What? Mr. McGilded had another article in pawn at Windibanks. As this second pawnbroker's ticket proves.
Mr. Scoot, hello.
Ah. There were two articles belonging to Mr. McGilded in Windibanks pawnbrokery. And the reason you broke into the shop that night was to recover the second one. Together with your two accomplices, the Skulkin brothers! Ugh. This is the second ticket, is it? What had the man deposited? The article description reads, one small box. A rather vague description, it seems to me. Are you suggesting that I broke into the pawnbrokery with these the clowns in order to steal some trinket box? I believe that there are adequate grounds to suspect that you did.
Mr. Scoot with the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome
to the Mew crew. I hope you're having a lovely time. This is absurd. Why on earth would I do such a thing? Once the article had been forfeited, I could simply walk into the shop and purchase it. There would be absolutely no need for me to resort to theft. That's a good point. Indeed. The witness makes a solid argument.
Well, that means that for some reason, this Graydon fellow needed the small box that very night, does it?
Objection!
Wow. It's time to put an end to this nonsense, my lord. Would you be a little less cryptic, Lord Van Zieks? I do hate to ruin my learned friend's argument, but the truth is quite incontrovertible. On the night in question, no small box was taken from Windibank's pawnbrokery. And rest assured, the prosecution can prove it. What? Good gracious! Ah!
Oh, wretched.
I woke up so early, I'm a little tired. Apologies for the yawning. Good gracious! Inspector, show the photographic prints to the court, if you please. Yes, sir. What prints? These prints were taken from one of the detective's security cameras. Ah, Harley's red-handed recorder's a gun! As previously explained, using the plan of the shop layout. The victim's establishment was furnished with automatic cameras in 2 locations. One was set to capture the counter where Mr. Windibank received his customers, and the other was set to capture the shelves on which articles were placed for sale once forfeited. According to the information on this ticket, the gilded small box had been forfeited already. 2 days before the incident, at 9 p.m., 13th April to be precise. Which means it would have been on the shelves of the forfeited items in the shop front. Now, what I have here is a print taken by one of the cameras about 2 hours before the incident. That's at 11 p.m. on 15th April. Whoa. The victim certainly had a very full shop, it would appear. And then here we have another print. We gotta use a stereoscopicness. This one was taken about 2 hours after the incident. I see. So we have 2 pictures to compare. Put them through the stereoscope. Though I must say that placing them side by side leaves me cold. No, this little it's right here. Come on. I see it immediately. Dear me, that's starting to make my head ache. Obviously, at Scotland Yard, we consider theft as one possible motive in the case. We explored the possibility that something had been taken in addition to the victim's life. Well, your men have already compared these 2 prints thoroughly, Inspector. Yes, sir. Not close enough. I am not a detective, and I noticed it immediately. We counted every single item in these 2 photographic prints. And the yard's conclusion is that exactly the same number are present in both. In other words, nothing was taken from the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And my learned friend's assertion is nothing more than a hopeful fantasy. Darg!
I don't believe it. I could have just shown that he'd stolen McGilda's pawn box.
Dance around, you dancing man.
Might have been able to break him down at last.
You know what, right now? I've been thinking. I wonder if these 2 photographs really are exactly the same.
What?
What do you mean? What do you even... what, huh?
So, counsel, in the light of the evidence put forth by the prosecution, what is your position? Seems that, in fact, on the night in question, nothing was stolen from the victim's establishment. Do you accept the prosecution's assertion?
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
Could there be some hidden discrepancy? Yes. Point out a discrepancy. I wasn't sure at first, but there is a clear discrepancy between these 2 prints.
What? You must identify the location in question for the court, counsel.
Yeah, it's here. It's there.
Take that!
Take it to the bank. Granted, these 2 prints are almost identical. However, there is one minor discrepancy between them.
What?
You are. When you view the 2 pictures stereoscopically, hydrate, got it. Oh my god.
Boom.
A single area stands out as being different. The location of this small box. We are better than all of Scotland Yard. He looks so silly.
Let me wait. Unbelievable. By Jove, you're right. How extraordinary.
Boom.
What this tells us is very simple. Mr. McGilded's small box was indeed not stolen from Windibanks on the night in question. However, there can be no doubt that somebody picked up this particular box and then replaced it to its place on the shelves.
Are you suggesting that the small box originally deposited by Mr. McGilded is in fact?
Yes, the very same small box I just identified in those photographic prints.
Objection!
Mindless guesswork. What if it was? So a box was moved on the shelf. Nothing was stolen, which means quite simply that nothing has changed.
That may be true, but... Alright, McGilded's box wasn't stolen then. But doesn't the fact that it was moved like that change things?
It changes everything.
I believe this changes everything about the case.
How can that possibly be?
The crucial point of this fact is what was moved. The crucial point is the fact that what was moved was a small box. In other words, we have to consider what might have been inside that box.
What are you suggesting? This face that he makes is so crazy to me.
Mic drop.
Oh, he's getting, ooh.
I'm suggesting that we need to examine that box as soon as possible. A vital piece of evidence is sitting on the shelves at Windibanks as we speak.
Objection!
Well, that won't be necessary. Some little box belonging to a man who died 2 months ago can't possibly be relevant to this trial. I'll allow it. The court does not uphold your objection, Lord Van Zieks. Bailiff, arrange for an officer to go to Baker Street at once.
Lucky offspring.
Oh. That's neat. I do want free McDonald's.
Obtain the small box in question and bring it back here for further examination.
Go get it. Go get it. Baby. Oh my god. Free French fries. Tomorrow? Is that true? Is that real?
We should have a report within half an hour.
I want a Grimace shake. I do want a Grimace shake. Oh, oops.
I think perhaps we should recess for a short while the evidence is brought forth.
Jesse, of course. Hello.
To be hoodwinked by such a farce, disappointing.
Frenchy fry day. Yo, I'm down for Frenchy fries.
I beg your pardon, Lord Van Zieks.
This is nothing but a smokescreen, a Nipponese specialty, it would seem.
What are you trying to say?
My learned friend has persisted with the same line of reasoning from the very beginning. That this witness's intent was to steal an article belonging to Mr. McGilded from the pawnbrokery. Its common sense tells us that none of the articles have value enough to be worth stealing in the first place.
No!
Exactly. It'd be beyond absurd to break into a place for the purpose of stealing such commonplace property.
Excuse me.
Your lordship recalls Mr. McGilded perished 2 months ago, immediately after the conclusion of his trial. A trial in which he was found not guilty. A trial in which it was established that he was the upstanding member of society his reputation implied, in fact. So I propose a toast to my learned friend and his most insightful defense. The articles this upstanding member of society pawned were entirely ordinary. A black overcoat that just happened to have a music box disc in one of its pockets and a small box. I assure you, I wouldn't accept even if the man tried to make a gift of such things to me.
You know, that does make rather a lot of sense. Not if it's a gold or jewels, though goodness knows.
You can't deposit cash in a pawnbroker, I'm quite certain of that. Prosecution's argument is undeniably compelling.
It is incumbent on the defense now to bolster its argument.
Yeah! to explain what possible significance these commonplace articles spawned by this fine citizen could have. We don't know. That's a real big mystery. Well, counsel, is your argument in fact demonstrable? Are you able to show proof that the disc or the box are in any tangible way related to this case? Well, what's the matter, Rhoda? We know that they're related, don't we? They're both vital pieces of evidence! Yes, of course. You and I both know that. We know Mr. McGilded's true character, and we know the disc is significant, even if we don't know why. Moj, hello! How are you? But if we explain all that to the court at this point, we'll have to acknowledge that McGilded's acquittal 2 months ago was a mistake. That the defense's argument was flawed based on false information. Oh, no! And that would mean admitting that Gina committed perjury. But Jenny! Could it be that Van Zeeks knows? Is that why he's doing this now? Because he's anticipated everything? Happy, it's your birthday! Happy birthday! Oh my god! What are you gonna do? That's so exciting! Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Happy birthday! Escape room! Oh, that sounds so fun. I've done one of those once before. It was fun. But maybe this could be a great opportunity for us. Sorry, what do you mean? Well, what is it you always say, Renault? Sooner than later, the truth comes out every time. Alright, the exact significance of the things that McGilded deposited with Mr. Windibank is something that only Gina can explain to the court. But if I put her on the stand to testify about that, it could critically damage our chances of winning this case. Oh! Vapor Skull with the follow. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Mew crew. How are you? How are you? Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, okay. I think we have to, right? Never testify. I'd be good. Hell yeah. Welcome, welcome. My lord, the defense would like to make a proposal. Oh, what proposal, counsel? While the court awaits the arrival of McGilded's small box, I would like to call the defendant, Mrs. Jean Lestrade, to the witness stand. The defendant? To what end? Are you winning, son? Nader, hello. Sort of. Kind of. Maybe. It's to do with the various articles deposited at Windibanks by Mr. McGilded, my lord. Mrs. Lestrade has information relating to them. I believe it would be beneficial for the court to hear what she has to say. It will prove the significance of the articles in question, once and for all. Well, well, things are becoming interesting. I presume you've considered the implications of the testimony you're proposing. In particular, the impact it will have on the accused standing, and indeed your own. I have. Lord Van Zeeks, would you care to explain that last remark? The prosecution accepts the defense's proposal. I move to interrupt the cross-examination of the current witness and hear from the accused herself. Very well, if you have no objection. Bonk. So the court will now hear the testimony of the defendant, Ms. Gina Lestrade. Your witnesses currently in the stand may step down until further notice. Yeah, touch your coat or whatever. You don't have your hat on. Then I shall bid you good day. Wait. You, sir, shall remain in the stand while Ms. Lestrade testifies. As you wish. All right then, Gina, it's time. I know this will be hard, but please, put your faith in me here. Good luck, right now! Boop, 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 boop. Hello, Gina. I love doing Gina's voice. Gotta make sure the gel in his hair is smooth. The articles that Mr. McGilded had deposited in Windibank's pawnbrokery are intimately related with the omnibus case, the trial of which was heard in this courtroom 2 months ago. Yes, and I remember this young lady being brought before me in that trial as well. That's right, my lord. Her testimony helped to establish the innocence of the defendant, Mr. McGilded. The omnibus case was intriguing, to say the least. And now, here we all are again, the same players in that trial facing each other once more. A twist of fate, perhaps, my Nipponiese friend. Allow me to recap the events of 2 months ago. An old brickmaker was stabbed to death in an omnibus running along London's winter streets. Apart from the victim, there was only one other person in the carriage, Mr. McGilded. Naturally, he was the prime suspect for the murder. But as the trial progressed, another possibility emerged. That the murder in fact took place above the defendant's head on the roof deck, with the body then being dropped through the skylight into the carriage below. It was Ms. Lestrade whose testimony brought that possibility to light. At the time of the incident, Ms. Lestrade was concealed under a seat in the carriage, hoping to pick the pockets of unsuspecting passengers. Mason, hello! How are you? Then immediately after the trial, having been acquitted of the murder. I'm doing great, I'm sleepy though. Mr. McGilded died in this very courtroom in the most extraordinary of circumstances. A mystery that remains unsolved even now, 2 months on. As indeed does the omnibus murder itself. Pika! Oh, it's a birthday sub, a birthday sub, a birthday sub. Ha ha ha! Hungry. Eat everything.
Be that as it may, I recall neither the disc nor this small box being mentioned in the course in those proceedings.
Ms. Lestrade, would you tell the court now? Oh! I got a gift sub to Mason! Oh my god, oh my god. Thank you, Pika. Oh my goodness. Would you tell the court now, please, what really happened in the omnibus 2 months ago, I mean? I don't know what you mean. Already said all of what I know. And what about everything you told us yesterday from inside your prison cell? Oh! Please, Ms. Lestrade, this is extremely important.
Remember, little girl, if it transpires that you willfully withheld information in the trial 2 months ago, the Home Office will seek to prosecute you for perjury. And naturally, you will lose all credibility as a witness. Although, let's face facts, you have little credibility to lose.
Jenny, don't listen to him! Please, you have to trust Rudo now. Oris! We're on your side! Alright then. I'll talk. It's the right choice, Gina.
Well, it would seem that my learned friend is hell-bent on bringing the entire courtroom down about his ears. So be it.
Bonk.
I must confess that I'm struggling to understand what on earth is happening here. However, it would appear that Mr. McGilded's pawned articles in that extraordinary case of the omnibus harbor secrets of which we have been hitherto unaware. So, Miss Lestrade, you will now give your testimony before the court about the events of 2 months ago. You will reveal the truth, a commodity sorely lacking in your original statements.
This is it then. Everything's gonna come out. Like Van Zeek said. This could bring the whole courtroom down about my ears, but as a lawyer, I'm prepared to take that risk. Ooh. Boop, 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 boop. Truth is, the Brickmaker Cove was in the cabin of the omnibus the whole time. When the Irishman dragged... When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor. All of a sudden, I heard a scream from over my head, and the pair on the roof deck went off to call the slops. That's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard. The judge always gets confused. He's less of a dummy in this game than he is in, like, the mainland games. But he's like an idiot in those games.
Good grief, this is outrageous! You've just told the court bears almost no resemblance to your testimony 2 months ago. As you say, my lord. Then there's every chance I may have adjudicated an error in McGilded's trial. Sounds very much to me as if the man deliberately deceived this court. in an effort to cover up the most wicked of schemes. Without doubt, your lordship is correct. A great injustice was done in this courtroom 2 months ago. The actions of the accused in that trial, of this witness, and of my learned friend are entirely inexcusable.
I don't believe it. The whole trial was a farce. It was all lies. That McGilded fellow was rotten to the core. Don't forget that lawyer from the east. They're all in on it. You wronged the lot of you. Mr. Naruto, the lawyer there, he didn't know nothing about it.
Humbug!
I don't think so. Are we really expected to believe that?
He really stitched everyone up, didn't he? What an operation to get the man off scot-free! Well, he died. Off! Unforgivable, stop. The lies have to stop. Stop!
Shut up, everyone. Yes, the defense made a terrible error of judgment. I intend to take full responsibility and suffer whatever consequences are deemed appropriate. However, it's imperative that the court allows the witness to elaborate on her testimony, because the true significance of McGilded's pawned articles must be brought to light.
Very well, my learned student friend. Given the depths of calamity you have just plunged yourself into, this may well be worth hearing. Bonk. Words fail me. The situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord.
I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial.
Of course, my lord. Blimey, Mr. Naruhodo.
Now, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Wow. I'm gonna very quickly run to the bathroom. I'll be right back, everybody. We're gonna do this so quickly. Are you ready? Are you so ready for me to be right back? Woo! Hello. I'm back. I got a fruit leather. You can see me breathing. Johnny Marcus said, "Ed, he's gone." You know the impressions? What's your favorite game? You had to do impressions for? I mean, it's probably just this. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think the only, like, mostly they're these sorts of games. I mean, I had a lot of fun with the Paranorma site game. Because that game had the Kissing Detective. Beautiful puppy on my walk isn't outside. That sucks. All right, let's press. Let's just start pressing.
Hold it!
Hold it. And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Ms. Lestrade? Nice respect. I love doing it though. It's fun. I mostly play story games these days, so if I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black in there, so you can't see nothing at all.
Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claim Mr. McGilden was the stolen passenger, did you not?
False testimony, my lord. That's what he told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilden and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. Well, I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? You like Hollow Knight? Hollow Knight is fun. I've played that a lot off stream. It's really difficult. I feel like I'd need a guide, which sort of defeats the purpose of like a Metroidvania kind of a game. Well, I couldn't hear too well, but if I had to say, I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying.
Perhaps business dealings of some kind.
Well, anyway, they got louder and louder and started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then all of a sudden, I heard a noise like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all. I have a map for Hollow Knight. It's a big boy.
And I believe you let out an involuntary scream.
Yeah, that's what gave me away. When the Irishman dragged me out from under my seat, I saw that desk on the floor.
Hold it!
The disc. Was the disc you saw this disc? I feel like I got about halfway through Hollow Knight, which is no small feat, but then I just stopped. That was like before I started streaming, and I don't really play a ton of games off stream these days, you know? Yeah, I reckon it was. My streamer friends I made is playing Hollow Knight first time on a DDR pad. Whoa. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I reckon it probably was. It was right next to the cove line on the floor.
This disc could belong to the victim, perhaps.
I don't know, but McGilden picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat at the cove with the knife and his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen or heard to no one. About the disc and all. I was dead scared the way he was looking at me. I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a load of questions, like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. My dad tried playing Hollow Knight, couldn't figure it out. I played a couple hours, it's difficult. It's hard. Yeah, that's right. First there was a kind of rapping noise. All of a sudden I heard a scream from over my head and appeared on the roof. There were 2 gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. That's right. They must have looked down through the skylight and noticed the cove with the knife in his guts. When they screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGilden got out of sight. I love challenging games. It'd be fun to try and replay the 3rd Dark Souls. Or, man, I tell you, Elden Ring is on sale, and I'm very tempted to buy it. But, that would be fun. I've never played Elden Ring. But it's like 30%, it's like only $42-ish or something, instead of a 60. I'm tempted. But, I don't know. Mama has a love-hate relationship with Elden Ring. Oh, really?
Out of sight, where?
Under the back seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to a halt, the 2 cows from the roof ran off to fetch the slops.
If they immediately left to fetch the police, it would appear they were entirely unrelated to the case.
I too am very tempted. It looks dope. Like, I really had fun. Like, people talk about like, oh, they're so hard. Oh my god, they're so hard. And like, I played Dark Souls 3 a little bit on stream, and I didn't really get that far into it. It's definitely hard, but it's not like it wasn't nearly as difficult as I as I was led to believe. At least the way I was playing. And Elden Ring seems like that everybody loves Elden Ring. They can't get enough Elden Ring. Need a punching bag too. Always. But I'm just like, I don't know if I'll like play it off stream, and I don't know if that's an on-stream game to play. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not sure. These are all my thoughts. Ow! Crimson. Hello. Excuse me. So that left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene.
Yeah. Only the driver didn't know I was there because I was under the seat.
Who is that Pokemon? It's a shiny boy. What? Oh, that's been around a while, Moch. Elden Ring Game of the Year. They are hard, but that's what makes them fun. They're like hard, but they're not like that hard. I don't know.
Only the driver didn't know I was there because it was under the seat. Pikachu! I heard the cabin door open and a voice from outside.
That's been there almost since my live 2D model. The driver, yes, he also testified in the trial, I believe. A fellow who went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves. He had a little hot dog nose. It's alright. I'm just...
Look at all those chickens.
Look, it's your birthday. You can forget whatever you like. You're allowed.
What did Mr. McGilded and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened and stuff like that mainly. That's when McGilded slipped the driver some tin to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout.
Hold it! Ouch! Hydrate. I can do that. What's... This is a cake! That's a birthday cake! I can't, that's for you. I can't eat that. I can't eat that. You ate it. Yeah, there you go. This feels like such a loaded question, but I'm gonna read it. What's the stigma with these nuts jokes? I don't know. What's the stigma, you?
Get that cake away from me.
The pawn shop obviously being Windibanks on Baker Street. Just a moment, Coach. Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well?
Get some help.
Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Van Zeeks.
McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful-like before handing it over.
Stigma balls! It was a double whammy. The Vine Boom gets very funny.
When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it gotta be worth a few bob.
Yes, Gina was sure that this must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? I remember her quibbling with him over the price of the afternoon in the pawnbrokery.
The driver looked happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off in a lick. And the bog trotter called me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin.
Yeah, putting sounds on your Stream Deck is one of the easiest things that the Stream Deck can do, or if you have the Elgato anyway.
He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard.
Hold it! Threatened you? How exactly?
Told me I'd only be able to scarp her if I did exactly what he'd said.
Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's it. And there was one other thing he said.
Which was?
He told me I'd have to hang on to the ticket from the pawn shop and make sure not to lose it.
The ticket? Well, I never. Go look through the tutorials. I don't have a tutorial on the Stream Deck. The Stream Deck, the sound effects section is like easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You just get a file and then you like add it in and then there's a button for it. And you can add as many buttons as you want.
And if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I'd had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug to stop it from being forfeited. It left me with some fries to pay for it.
But really, why on earth would Mr. McGilded have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with a pawnbroker before the arrival of the police, it makes no sense at all.
There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. that what McGilded had the driver deposit at Windibanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Anyway, after that he let me go, so I legged it before the coppers showed up. Well done, Gina. It can't have been easy to tell the truth like that.
Jenny's really put her faith in you, Runo.
Yes, and to thank her, she'll have to face a charge of perjury once the trial's over. But I need to use the time we have now to get as much information out of her as possible.
It's time to really go for it. Press her on every statement.
I suppose I should. I did do that.
Oh, and another thing.
What's that?
Oh, take a look at those two. Isn't it strange that they've been whispering to each other the entire time?
Yes, that is strange. It looks like they're having a secret discussion about something. I'm not sure that I'm completely comfortable with that. I wonder if there's anything I can do about it. Okay.
Hold it!
We were hiding in the cabin at the time as well. Okay, Can I pursue them?
Excuse me!
There's something you'd like to share with the court, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Graydon? Inspector! Mr. Graydon!
What? Blimey, you trying to give me a heart attack?
Heck yeah. I still don't 100% understand art fight, how it works, but everybody loves it. And I think that's great. You've been whispering to each other for quite some time now. Tell us, what is the discussion about? Discussion? With this fella? Put the other one on, Sunshine. You think I got anything to talk about with a shady gent like this? And I have nothing to say to this uncouth detective after he deprived me of that disc that was so rightfully mine. They've clearly been talking the entire time I've been cross-examining Gina. It's as if they've been negotiating. Art fight is just drawing people on the other team's OCs for points. Points? See, but like, see, you're saying a lot of stuff, and all that is doing is further confusing me. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Mr. Starr. Thank you, Counsel. I've heard enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus.
It would appear on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. Let me explain in simple terms, okay. A negotiation concerning this disc, however, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilded took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point, the disc is clearly extremely valuable in some way, although I don't understand why as yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilded's coats and its contents were due to be forfeited.
I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the cove died right after his trial, I knew that.
So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own.
Well, why not, eh? They were only going to be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking it ain't no crime. Mr. Starr, it would appear Mr. McGilded was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this disc. Do you know why that would be? I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. You can blame me for thinking that. Think it ain't no crime.
You have two teams. Teams have their little characters. Draw characters from opposing team, opposite team. The more characters you draw, and the more complex they are, the more your team wins. Or wait, I meant to. Hell yeah, that sounds fun. You have to like arrange it with other teams, or is it just like a big old free for all?
My lord,
Who is it?
the evidence your lordship requested to be located is ready for the court's inspection.
Show me the box. What's in the box? Give me the box. A mysterious little box deposited by McGilded 2 months ago. There's no doubt in my mind that it plays a key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. Do the two teams have themes? Oh, one of two themes. Oh. The bacon. Oh, that's just it. Ah, beans. Well, hot dog. Hot diggity dog, babies. Well, we're gonna just call it there. And then tomorrow, we are going to finish this video game. Well, the first half of it. Oh my god. I didn't know we were at the end right now. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Oh, excuse me. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. West Coast American time, we will conclude the first Ace Attorney game. Glad to catch you all. Glad to have you. Hell yeah. We're gonna find... Did I play the music? Yeah, we did. Okay. It just wasn't very loud. We're gonna find somebody to raid, but in the meantime, I have a few links I would like to share with you. And there they are. We first have my card. That's a one-stop shop to all things Comfy Catboy. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, anywhere like that, the card is the best place to do that. Secondly, we have the Discord. It's a beautiful place full of lovely people, and I would love to see you there. It's wonderful. I like it. It's great. It's excellent. It's beautiful. And then third, and I was trying to put an order to it. The third is the link to all my different YouTube channels. I've kind of rearranged how they show up. I finished a new video. I finished editing down the VOD of the editing workshop that we did a couple weeks ago, and so I'm gonna upload that as a regular upload this Friday. And then similarly, on I'm pretty sure this is subject to change, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it on Sunday. This Sunday, y'all. This Sunday, I am going to be doing my first stream on YouTube. We're gonna do another editing workshop on my editing channel. This Sunday at 9, probably. I'm gonna announce the official time on Twitter and Discord and all that stuff. But I have on my Twitter right now, which that should go to my Twitter. I have a post up. If you are a content creator and you make shorts and you want critique on your shorts, leave a comment on them with a link to one of your shorts, and I will workshop it on this stream. I'm very, very excited. Kushi, hello. We're about to leave. I'm so sorry. Who is? I've been like looking at my list. But, I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Let's raid Artsy. Let's raid Artsy. Let's raid Artsy. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. They've been going an hour. Very likely they are not on a break. All right. Oh, wow. It didn't. Okay. It didn't copy what I copy, please. There we go. Woo. A new one. I don't know who that is. We're gonna raid Artsy. Oh shoot! I forgot. Hold on. I have to do it. Can I do it? Can I do it in the regular? Hold on. Can I do it here? This work? I'm like. It worked. Okay. I had to go. It's so dumb. I don't, I'm not logged into my chat on OBS, and I only discovered that minutes before. So I have, another window open. I guess it worked there. I love you to pieces. We're gonna be, oh yeah, and then I think somebody did it, but if you are a subscriber, copy and paste that, and we're gonna be real cool, to Artsy, who is playing Power Wash Simulator. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. West Coast American time, where we finish this game. Goodbye, everyone. Boo, 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 boo.